Just gonna add an extra...
Whoa. What are you doing?
Jake, these comics are no longer accurate.
But you can't write on them?
Look, it says Rebirth, right?
Yes.
But it's a second print. So it's no longer a rebirth, it's a re-rebirth. So all I have to do is...
This week we got reprints of a lot of the DC Rebirth one-shots. We got the Batman Rebirth, Flash Rebirth, Green Lantern's Rebirth, Wonder Woman Rebirth, Aquaman Rebirth, and the first 2 issues of the new action and detective comics.
Hank Lucky. And I've got the new Rebirth. I've got one number 1 and a whole lot of number 2s. Make your own joke. I've got Justice League Rebirth number 1. That's written and drawn by Hitch. And I've got Batman number 2, Aquaman number 2, Green Arrow number 2, Green Lanterns number 2, and Hank's personal favorite, Superman number 2. All in the Rebirth universe.
And while we're talking second prints, we also got second prints of Captain America Steve Rogers number 1, where the second printing spoils it, but yeah, he's Hydra.
If you're a fan of super offensive political humor, I mean, like, you can't be offended, then you definitely want to check out SSB number 2 by our boy Eric Powell. This book is limited to just this printing. It'll never be in a collection and never be a digital comic. I'm not kidding. It's super offensive, political, but it's really funny if you're okay with that kind of stuff. It's like South Park.
It's so good.
It's really awesome.
We got Lone Ranger hanging out with Green Hornet. Hey, I'm pretty sure those guys are related. It's Lone Ranger, Green Hornet.
Destiny is a funny thing in that the future is predetermined. If you've been reading Civil War II, then you know that there's a new character in town that's predicting the future, and that doesn't sit well with the Kingpin, who doesn't like being told the way things are. So he's going to test the theory of how set in stone the future really is in Civil War II, Kingpin number 1.
To get pumped for November's release of the Doctor Strange movie, we've got the Doctor Strange Prelude. This is based in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and to this point, all of the comics have been canon within that universe. And I assume that this one will also be.
Are you a girl, or do you like girls, but only with the name of Kim? Then you may want to check out Kim and Kim. It's kind of like if Gem and the Holograms were bounty hunters and kicked people's butts with guitars and machine guns. Yep, it's exactly what it sounds like.
That sounds actually pretty fun. Speaking of fun, we've got Hanna-Barbera's The Flintstones. This thing is the Flintstones, but it's certainly more of like a modern sitcom version of the Flintstones. It is not quite as cartoony. It's played more straight, but like still in bedrock. This book is oddly subversive, and worth checking out if you're looking for something a little bit off the beaten path from your normal comics.
You can use it while you're holding your breath waiting for the Seth MacFarlane Flintstone show. Because that's not happening anymore. Curtis Wiebe is a guy that's done lots of things, most famously recently for Rat Queens. Well, he's back with Bounty number 1 from Dark Horse. It's chicks, bounty hunters. Oh, that's the last book. But they are chicks and bounty hunters, but it's sci-fi this time. Almost cyberpunk? Question mark?
We got the first volume of Valiant's Faith. This thing's only $10, so it's an easy thing to check out, and this thing has gotten a lot of critical praise. It is some of the best superhero comics coming out right now, and certainly very unique.
Brick is a brand new creator-owned book from Oni, and you get the first issue for only $2. So, think Supernatural set in New York City. Were you thinking Gollum? That's right. It's a Jewish superhero, kind of. But not even a superhero. It's more monster.
Valiant also brings us a collection of some old school Shadow Man by Garth Ennis and Ashley Wood. This stuff, really cool. Kind of falls along the lines of Hank's beloved early 90s Vertigo.
That's cool. And in Star Wars news, I got 3 things for you. You ready? I got Poe number 4, I've got Han Solo #2, in which he definitely shot first on several people because they're dead. And Star Wars Darth Vader hardcover volume 1.
It's gonna be like what, 1 through 12?
It's a lot of books.
Yep, 1 through 12.
So it'll probably be the first half because this series is ending around 25, I believe.
We've also got the Carnage Classic trade. This thing is $35, but it is huge. You get a whole bunch of stuff in here. You get his first appearance in the comics in Spider-Man. You get a lot of his solo series. You get some great appearances, including the time that Spider-Man and Silver Surfer had to beat down on Carnage. This thing is awesome, and you get a lot of bang for your $35.
Hey! Check out Nerd Haiku Review. Last week I reviewed Hillbilly, so check that out. NerdHaikuReview.com and at Nerd Haiku Review. Thanks for watching. Oh! There you go.
Well, shit. Okay, hold up. Let me reorder this because... Alright. This week we got reprints of a lot of the
Birthdays. I thought he was saying hail hydrangeas because he was a big gardener.
I won't even acknowledge that. In Civil War II, Kingpin #1.
Civil War II, the Kingpin. I wasn't scratching my balls. It's a plus-size adventure.
That kind of falls in the category of what I asked you to not do.
It's psychopathic symbiotes for the whole family. Except not really. Some of the family.